Hi, and welcome everyone to Ethereal Encounters Unveiled. Today we are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 on the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in beautiful New Orleans.
Hey, welcome everybody to the Sunday night edition of Into the Night with me, your host, Sean Kelly. How is everybody doing tonight? Good to see you, Kevin, Joni, great for coming in. And Kill. Okay. I'll answer those questions later on, brother. I know that Mother Nature either A, is off her medication, B, she's pissed at us, or C, somebody did something wrong in order for all this crap that's going on. It is so damn cold. Hey, Cindy, it is so damn cold. I'm telling you, cold, right? And I was going to plant some peppers and some carrots. And no. Every time it happens, it's like in the 30, 31 degrees at night. And it's in May. What's up with her, guys? What is she doing to us? I don't know. Kara, what's up, buddy? And it was cold today. And it was cold tonight. And I don't know. Maybe somebody might know what the hell's happening with Mother Nature. I sure as hell don't. But the birds are happy. My brother put out like so much bird food. It's like crazy. And I don't know. But welcome to Into the Night with me, your host, Sean Kelly. Don't forget, everybody. Hey, Mish, good to see you. It is a 2-hour show. My Sunday night show is a 2-hour show. And my Tuesday night's only 1 hour. And so, I don't know. I want to thank you, PRN Talk Radio, 105.3 Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans, for allowing me to give you 2 shows a week, Sundays and Tuesday nights. I'm just so confused with Mother Nature. I really am. But I have a guest tonight, and he agreed because my original guest couldn't make it tonight, and so I contacted my friend Frater, and he got a hold of Natasha, and so she recommended my guest tonight, and everybody be nice to him. This is his first time doing a live, okay? But I know you will. Now, I have to tell you guys something, and you know how I am, okay? I respect everybody. I respect what they believe in. I respect what they do or how they go on their life's path. I respect it all. And I hope everybody else out there respects my guest tonight. Okay, it's going to be different. Okay, but he's a really cool dude. Got to chat about a half hour with him before the show started tonight. And I'm really looking forward to hear his story. Kara says Mother Nature needs to get the vacuum out and vacuum up all this damn pollen. Yeah, that too. Yeah, there's a crap load of pollen going on out there. But without further ado, I would like to give you my guest tonight, Ryan. I hope I say this right, Schidemantle. So, without further ado, hello, Ryan. Good to see you, buddy.
Hi, good to see you too. Thanks for having me on.
Yes. Oh, I'm glad that you did come on, and I truly appreciate you coming on. Um, so just start it off nice and easy. Um, can you give a little background? Oh, hold on. Before you go, let me read your bio. All right, I need to do that. Ryan lives in Butler, PA with his girlfriend and his cat. He is part of the governing body of the Coterie of Samil, arcane occult order, and acolyte of, he can say that later. I'm sorry. As well as a member of the Celestial Oddities Paranormal Team, with a background in continued practice in Norse paganism. Ryan spent more recent years helping with the running of the shop and rituals at Little Shop of Lilith. That's Natasha's shop. And delving into the left hand path, which, my friend Tara does the left hand path. And I really could not understand when she was talking about this. Was over about a year ago. And I'm really interested about it. And he is devoted to his studies, further learning, and in his work. And Johnny says, pretty so it will be hot as Hades and you will be wishing it was cooler. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think this year. I think we'll get hot in December around Christmas time, Joni, to be honest with you. So, Ryan, how are you?
I'm doing well this evening. How are you?
I'm just happy as a jaybird. Thank you for
I'd
coming
ask
on.
if you were I'd ask if you were keeping warm, but I think we already know the answer.
Thank you, Miss. Yeah, I'm keeping warm as possible. I guess the energy levels are like kicking in today. So, um, yeah, I'm doing okay. How about yourself, sir?
Not too bad, yeah. Just trying to keep warm. Like you were saying, Mother Nature's being a little crazy right now. All this warm, cold, warm, cold.
Do you think she's off her meds?
I don't know if I'd go that far. Probably upset about something.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So tell us, Ryan, a little bit about yourself, and we can go from there.
Sure, sure. A little bit about myself. Well, um, I was raised Roman Catholic. I was altar boy, whole nine yards. Did all that for a while. My later teenage years, I got away from the church a bit, and I guess you could say I was agnostic. Believed in something, but I didn't know what. Played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons in my teenage years. Thought all that kind of stuff was pretty cool. Uh, and then, spent a good bit of my life as an alcoholic. Uh, so, kind of a real jerk for a while there. Then I decided that none of that stuff was for me and that, science was the only way. And I became, uh, just didn't believe in anything for a while. Not necessarily nihilism, but didn't didn't want to believe in anything, didn't want to have anything to do with anything, just had a real dark time. Uh, then, weirdly enough, my parents decided to do one of those ancestry.com things. And I had been told my whole life, you are German and Italian, and that's it. That's all there is. To which, I thought, that can't be true. There's got to be something else out there. Well, it turns out that on my father's side, I have a bit of Norwegian in me, which
Hmm.
I thought was pretty cool. So I started looking into that background a little bit, and that led me to Norse paganism. And for some reason, that just resonated with me. That just really, I don't know, that above everything else just kind of hit home. It just, made sense. So I started, delving into that. I fell into the whole, Viking show on the History Channel. Started cutting my hair all up and getting some tattoos, and thought that was really cool. And while the show, and I get, you take those kind of things with a grain of salt and everything like that. What really interested me about the show was, the talk of the gods and, seeing, even if, completely misstrued and recreated and everything like that, but like the rituals and the way they worshipped and things like that. So I started doing my own research into that, and that just led me down some amazing roads, all the way to one whole book, which was all I really had at the time. This would have been back around COVID, I believe. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that would have been when I tried my first anything ritual, I guess, if you even want to call it that. I saw a thing online, and I gave it a shot to help the world battle COVID. I lit some incense, poured a little mead in a bowl, and said a few words to the Norse pagan gods, and it just felt really good. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if anything happened that night. I didn't really feel anything, didn't know what I was doing, but it just felt right. So I kind of just went along with that for a little bit, about once a week. Uh, Pour some meat in a bowl, light some incense, play a little music, and you know, that's how it went for a little while. Uh,
Okay.
until one day, until one day, a friend of mine asked me what I was doing on a Thursday night and if I wanted to go to this place she was going called the Little Shop of Lilith. And I thought, hey, it's Thursday night. I got nothing going on. I'll go there. So I went to this metaphysical shop called the Little Shop of Lilith, ran by my now friend, Natasha Michelle. And yeah, the place, just I really liked the energy there. I had no clue what was going on there. No idea what all these, rocks and incense and all this witchy stuff was. Uh, but it was pretty neat. And I found out they had events going on, and so I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe I'll come around for a couple of these things. That sounds pretty neat. And I will never forget. It was sometime during the summer. We were doing an outside event, and Natasha was drawing cards for everyone, just cards out of, I believe it was an Oracle deck. And she pulled a card for me. And while I don't remember what the card was, because I don't think it was important, she looked me dead in the eyes and just said, "Humble yourself." And I don't know what that was or what that phrase did. It almost didn't even feel like it came from her, but that like flicked a switch in my head. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, ever since then, I had kind of started to realize, what a piece of shit I had been. And then I need to start, acting correct and getting things together. And I started coming around the shop more. I started doubling, tripling down on, the research I had been doing. I read more than one book. I was very proud of myself. And yeah, I started spending a lot of time at the shop, and I'm glad I did. Over the years, I started getting more involved. I would help set up for things. I met a lot of really interesting people, a lot of really good people. Natasha, as we've mentioned, Tara, who you said you'd had on the show. I've met Tara, Frater Crow. I believe you mentioned you've had him on the show as
Yep.
well.
Yep.
Yeah, I met all of them, and they have all helped me in more ways than I can explain. They've helped grow my
You're
path.
in good
They
company,
have
brother. You lucked
very
out.
much. I 100% agree with that. Yes, absolutely.
100%. You're in good company.
Yeah.
And
So
I believe, okay, real quick, I
yeah.
believe that it's not so much us finding things or where to go. I think spirit leads you to people to help you get on a path that you need to be on. And so spirit directed you to Natasha. Okay.
I 100% believe that
Yes.
if more people would just be open to, listening and following the paths that are laid out for them, it
Right.
will take you where you want to go.
I wanted Sherry. Good to see you, hon. She says good evening, Ryan.
Good evening.
That's my dear Sherry friend. My friend Sherry Madigan. She lives up there with the mooses up there
Mm.
in Newfoundland. Yeah, right, Sherry. I think I got it right this time. Yeah, yeah. She lives with the mooses.
Well, hello to
Tara,
Newfoundland.
Tara says hello. Natasha says she loved Vikings. Hey, Michelle, she shot from Oregon, and she says hello. Kevin, Sarah Clark, absolutely. Spirit leads a lot of people to Natasha. That's the truth. Okay, she's laughing. Yeah, she's from Newfoundland. The home of that dog show. Um, the show that is bigger. Joe Fox, good to see you, man. Joe, I want you to meet my friend um, Ryan here, my guest, man. You will get a lot out of him. Rex, the German Shepherds from Newfoundland. I watch them on every Wednesday night. But so so you went and you met Natasha and you met Hudson and Rex. Yes. Cindy says yes. I clearly have Sean on my bike path. Oh, thank you. I'm blushing here. And Joe Fox says, "Hey Ryan, glad to meet you, sir."
Nice
Um,
to meet you all.
so, so the Norse pagan, right?
Yeah.
Now I know about the pagans here, and I guess you want to call it the United States or whatever, or
Hmm.
over the United Kingdom. Is there any type of difference between the Norse and, hey, Mark Eddie, between the Norse and the normal pagans? You know what I
Well,
mean?
pagan's kind of an umbrella term where Norse paganism is like you specifically follow like the Norse path of paganism. Like it's one of those things like, there's no wrong way to be a pagan. Uh, it's, regional. It's, kind of wherever you're from. Every group has their own version of paganism, but Norse paganism is specifically, uh, Norwegian. Some people consider it Scandinavian. It's mostly the Norwegian based, like the Asatru gods and such.
Hmm. So, hey, Gary, good to see you. Thanks for popping in, my brother. Um, so I, I also watched the Viking show too,
Hmm.
and I was intrigued by their spirituality with all the gods that they have, you know.
Yes.
And what do you? I was impressed with the god Odin. Can you share or
Hmm.
recollect what you feel or how you feel about Odin?
Um, Odin was the first one that I reached out to. Um, in my younger days, I'm glad I found the path when I did, because if it had been a younger version of me, I probably would have been all about, Thor, like not a Thor's not exactly like he is in the Marvel movies and everything like that. In Norse paganism, while he is the god of thunder and everything like that, he was very much uh, just violent, uh, drinking, and much like myself when I was young. But I did when I found Norse paganism. I reached out to Odin because I was intrigued by his wisdom. Like he was all about. When I first came across him, he was all about wisdom and knowledge and learning and the sacrifice for knowledge, all the sacrifices that he had made. And, over time, learned, of course, the more time you spend with any entity, the more you learn about them. and learned that there is more to them than any just one thing. But yeah, it really was. I came to him because I had decided that it was time for me to learn, and who better to go to than one of the gods of knowledge. So
Right.
I came to him first with absolute respect and just show me everything you can.
Okay. Now, see, I'm glad you said that because when I first started getting into my path, I was at a bookstore and this book literally jumped off the shelf and into my hands. And this is a true story.
Hmm.
And the book was called Black Elk, Lakota Sioux Shaman. Okay. And it was like I had to read it. I don't read books because I'm like kind of like ADHD. I
Hmm.
will read the first 10 pages, skip to the middle, read 10 pages there, and skip the last 10 pages. That's how I read. Oh, Tara got a question for you, brother. Tara says, which Norse god or goddess surprised you the most?
Um, Surprised. I'm not 100% sure. What do you mean by surprises and what about them or not? I will say, as far as interactions go, Freya, of all goddesses, reached out to me in very large and surprising ways. I will never forget when I had first started writing my rituals uh, and such at my house. I would pour some mead, light some incense, play some music, and then I would say a few words, and then to end it, I would throw open my front door and to kind of invite them in. And I remember one time, I don't know why, but all week it had just been in my head, do something nice for Freya. You always do something for the boys, do something for Lady Freya. So I bought some flowers and I laid them out and I said a few extra words to Freya. And I remember so a thing about Freya is she's very much entwined with cats in the lore and legends and whatnot. Her chariot is pulled by two giant cats. Anyway, I do my little ritual and I throw open the door, and there sitting up on my porch was the largest tabby cat I had ever seen in my life. And it was directly in front of my door, just staring up at me like it had been waiting for me the whole time.
Ain't
And
that
I
cool?
know, yeah, we did just kind of stare at each other for probably a good solid 15, 20 seconds. And as I went to approach to be like, hey, buddy, what's going on? It bolted and I never saw it again. Now, I had been living in that neighborhood for about 7 years, never seen it before, had never seen it again. But yeah, it's things like that. That was if you wanted a sign, I'd say that was a pretty good sign.
Awesome, man. And Tara says awesomeness. Um, Freighter was also in the chat. I don't know if he's still there or not, but he said hello, Um, and, but can you explain to my people or my listeners, please, um, who is Freya?
Uh, Freya is actually one of the Vanir gods. There were two different tribes of gods, and she was from there's the Aesir tribe, and there was the Vanir tribe. The Vanir were a little lesser known gods. They're more like earthen gods, like gods of harvests and gods of the sea. Very earthen gods, whereas the Aesir gods are almost more concepts than anything else. Like you would have Balder, who was like the incarnate of like beauty and love and things like that, and Odin, who is wisdom and death and whatnot. And long story short, they had a great big war, and there was an exchange of prisoners to end the war, and Freya was offered up by the Vanir to go live with and join the Aesir gods.
Mhm.
So that's where Freya fits into this.
Okay. Well, you know
She lived
what?
among the Aesir gods.
We are at the 30-minute mark, everybody. So you know what that means, everybody. It means Going to take a couple-minute break here, go to the bathroom, smoke a cigarette, do what you got to do. If anybody has any questions at all for Ryan, please ask them in the chat. And I and Ryan will definitely see you in a couple minutes.
The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. Let's stop this conversation. We got no relation.
Welcome to Don't Whistle at Night podcast, where Navajo legends echo in the shadows. Darren and Dawn will guide you through the sacred fire of Native storytelling, where the old stories breathe, the unknown walks among us, and voices, long hidden, rise to be heard. And remember, don't whistle at night.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Into the Night with me, Sean Kelly, your wonderful host. Yes, yeah, and I'm considered Papa Smurf. Did you know that? Papa Smurf. I got that from Joe and Jay on on the chat. That's a Saturday night show where me, Joe, and Jay sit around and talk about anything and everything. And then you also can see that I do have a serious political side of me, right? But I will not talk politics and I will not talk religion on my own shows. That's for Friday nights or Saturdays. And but I do again want to thank UPRN Talk Radio, 105.3 Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans. Well, welcome back to the show. I have my guest here, Ryan, and he's from Butler, Pennsylvania. And he's really big in the Norse paganism. Okay. Cindy Mitch says that she loves reading about Odin and Thor. So Ryan, you were saying when Natasha like knocked you on the head and said, "Well, follow your path," or you want to wait until you get settled in, my friend? You okay? Thank you, Kevin. You there, Ryan? Oh, he's going in and out. Okay, well, I don't know. I think the Norse, all paganism is cool. You know, I really truly believe that whatever you believe in, okay, whatever helps you move on your path, whoever gives you that clarity, who gives you that love, who gives you that strength, stick with it. You know what I mean? It don't have to be what I believe in. You know, it's probably not what Ryan does, how he goes through his life path. Okay, um, he has other things that he likes to um, that he feels comfortable with. So, uh, and Natasha says it's always your path. Yes, ma'am, it is absolutely. And you're talking about um, Norse, Odin, and Freya. Okay. Um, for me, real quick, while Ryan, gets set up again, mine were the guardian angels. Mine were archangels. And my big one, everybody says that they have Michael protecting them. Michael this, Michael that, but I never did have Michael. My archangel was Uriel. Um, and he has been with me since day one. And whenever I would go out and, clear a house, Uriel was with me. And I will say this about my archangel, Uriel. He don't play around with me, man. He don't play around at all.
Not sure if
Um,
I'm able to be heard right now, but I'm not getting
you
any
can be.
sound.
You're not getting no sound. Oh wow. I wonder why. Oh man. Okay. I no sound. Well, what we do is we just tell the gods. I'm not being funny about this, but we just tell them, hey, listen, um, we need, to send the good energy over to Ryan so he can get some sound on this thing. Sherry says Ariel comes in when I do Reiki. Oh, really? Uriel. Oh, that's cool, Sherry. No wonder. I wonder if Uriel likes mooses, just like we do. Hey, Kason, good to see you, buddy. And yeah, so that's why I bet you 2 to 1 Uriel likes mooses. And when I say that to
Yeah, I'm not getting
everybody,
any sound.
no
Would
sound
it
at all,
help to
dude.
have
So that's why I bet you 2 to 1 Uriel likes mooses. We can hear you, brother.
Yeah, I'm not getting any sound.
No sound at all, dude. Oh wow. Okay. So hopefully Ryan can get some sound. Um, but we're okay. It's just going to be okay. You come on. As what's happening with Ryan is happening with a lot of people. Like I said, Mother Nature, okay, she must be off her medication. She has to be. And with all the bullcrap going out there in the world today, all the negativity going on, um, it's just like messing up everything. My friend Heidi talks about frequencies. Now, maybe the frequencies aren't doing so hot. Maybe they're off kilter a little bit, or there could be some sunburst up in the sky. I don't know. Um, so it's just like, who knows what's happening, And oh gosh, I have to take a breath here. I was running out of breath. But so people in the chat room, people out there to the 160 different countries. How do you all believe in paganism? And if you do, if you would like to share, okay, what do you follow for paganism? Do you follow the basic, or do you walk your own path with what you believe in? You know, um, and it comes down to the Wiccan. Best viewers, max exposure. Okay, thank you, Inevitable. But who do you believe in? Who helps you on your path? Who, picks you up off your ass and dusts it off and keeps you moving? Who makes you miss who makes you walk them hurdles? You don't go around them hurdles because usually whenever you're walking your path, you come up to a wall. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Right. Uh, Not sure if you can hear me now, too. I'm still not getting any sound, unfortunately.
Do you have a computer, my friend? Do you have a computer? If you got a computer, go on your computer. Wow, this is crazy. But he's still with us. Does anybody have any questions?
I'll try and see if I can get my computer hooked up. Give me 1 minute.
Do you want to send me your email so I can send it to you? Okay, we'll be all right. So is anybody out there that would want to talk about, what path do you follow? Who helps you on your way? Um, Please share. That would be like really cool. Kason says, I love pagan beliefs, though I don't practice any. A while ago, I did some Wiccan rituals. That's a good question. I'm gonna ask Ryan when he comes back on again. Um, what do people think are rituals? What is a ritual? What is a ritual? Because I really, I don't know. Would you consider like praying or just talking to somebody that's not there? Natasha, if you're in a room, could you explain what a ritual is? I'd appreciate it. Or Frater or Tara, what a ritual actually is. Is a ritual like casting a spell on something? Do you use candle magic? Does a lot of the rituals have to deal with candles? Does it have to do with stones? Does it have to do with the different types of, uh, incense, myrrh? Um, Kevin says, take from many cultures and ways. Pagan native ways like animal spirit totems, for example. I have those small guides, have done spells, so some workings and do follow, do what you will and harm no one. True. And Natasha says a ritual is a set of actionable steps. No spell necessary involved, but they can be. Okay. Thank you very much, Natasha. I appreciate that very much. Kevin says astral workings, dreams, and teams, if guides. Okay. Kara says I'm in and out already. Laundry movements. Don't worry about it, honey. Just so I know you're safe. That's all that matters. Team up. Okay. So thank you, Natasha. Thank you, Kevin, for explaining that. Natasha says prayer is deeply involved in our practices and rituals also, which is cool. It's funny. I was raised Catholic for 18 years. Okay. And I did 12 years of Catholic school. And for me, they taught me every prayer I was supposed to learn through the Catholic Church. Okay. But when I turned 18, I had a problem with it. And I quit doing my Catholic beliefs. Cindy says, to me, it's the way we pray and perform ceremony. And Kason says, did something with a pentagram, candles, and nature prayers? And while feathers started to appear in my bedroom from absolutely nowhere. If that happened, did you use a pentagram? And did you use candles, Kason? I mean, we have some good people who understand what's going on. when it comes to rituals. So hopefully they read what you read their case, and then they can help you out better than I can. But back to my story, when I turned 18, I went into the service. I quit going to church, and I quit doing the prayers, stuff like that. And I don't want to call at the time an atheist or an agnostic. I did not want to call myself. Natasha says feathers are often signs from spirits. But I did know when I got sober in 1991, January 21st, 1991. They told me to find a higher power. And the only higher power I knew was the one that I was raised with. And the one that I was raised with wasn't a very nice one. Okay. And let's see what we got. Can we do it, Ryan? Are we in there?
I got
Come
sound.
on, I hear you. Yeah, cool.
All right. Sorry about
Hey,
that.
give it up for Ryan. All right. But real quick, we'll get to you, buddy. But so they told me I had to find something, find a higher power when I got sober. The only one I knew was the one that was mean, nasty, and disgraceful, and that I was going to hell for, looking at a person the wrong way. And then my sponsor said to me, he said, you know what? Why don't you find a loving and caring God as you understand him? And that changed my whole world. And that got me. So I can actually sit on my porch and talk to whoever I want to talk to. I don't know who I'm talking to, but I know I get a peace of mind on that. Kevin says, I don't pray per se, but just respect and put ideas out there to the universe. Kevin uses candles, incense to protections and cleansings. Everyone's saying it sounds good. Remote viewing is pretty good. But back to you, Ryan. Okay. So we were talking about Freya. But I also want to know, you know, with the Norse, how do you feel about animal totems, animal spirit guides?
Animal spirits, like anything, you can connect with an animal, I think, almost as easy as you could connect with an ancestor. Um, Somebody had put one time, someone I know, uh, a thought that put out there that I read that I really liked. And it basically said, in ancestor works, you can travel back and, connect with your ancestors, your grandfathers, your great grandfathers, your great great grandfathers, so on and so forth back. But as you go back further and further and further, how far back does that go? At what point do you start connecting to, if you believe in evolution, at what part do you start going back to, when we were animals, you know?
Hmm.
So to me, that always resonated to me, so in a way, connecting to animals almost is akin to ancestor work. So, and I think, having an animal totem is just as viable as having a totem to, a god or a goddess, or having something for an ancestor. So, I believe it's just as viable.
Okay. Do you have an animal totem?
I don't really have an animal totem per se. I've always been very fond of the rhinoceros.
Okay.
So I do have a few little statues and whatnot of those around.
Okay. Well, if I can make a suggestion to you, brother.
Sure.
Hey, there's my boy Jay. If I can make a suggestion, after the show, Google rhinoceros, okay, and the
Okay.
spiritual meaning behind it,
Okay.
and see what it comes up with.
I
It'll
will give
blow
that a
you.
shot.
It will blow you away, seriously, because every time, like, I see um, an animal, I typed it in, and it's like the meaning is behind the animal. It's something that I am going through right now. You know what I mean? And I tell you
Hmm.
what, I know the crow and I'm sure that's really big in Norse mythology. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the crow or the raven, one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have one crow that follows me everywhere. I tend to meet them to feed them, peanuts and scrambled eggs. But
Mm-hmm.
but for some reason, he's there when I come home from work, and he's there when I go into the parking lot of work. So and it feels cool too. And every now and then, if life is throwing me a lot of pits, right? Usually there's like three or four of them that hang around me, and it's like I can feel this protection from the crows or the ravens. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I know that I am well connected. When I would do my paranormal investigating, when I would go out and mess or clear a house or fight the bad spirits that were out there,
Mm-hmm.
um, I would have Uriel as my archangel. But the one who I connected with, the goddess that I connected with, was Morgana. Okay, and I do believe that she was a goddess of the underworld, if I'm not mistaken. And it just seems like whenever life was getting kind of tough out there in the paranormal world, you know, she was always there to back me up. Do you know anything about Morgana?
Morgana, no, not exactly. I haven't had the pleasure.
Okay, okay. Natasha, can you help me out? Or Tara, who Morgana? But I know it's Morgana, and I know that the Ravens, okay, the Ravens are connected with her. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. See, for me, when I was doing the paranormal investigating, my dear friend Penny McCann, she was really big into goddesses and gods. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and she taught me a lot about the different goddesses. And I don't know. I just feel like I have the connection with Morgana, with the other goddesses and gods. It's Hecate. Um, a lot of my friends who are witches, okay, always deal with her, Hecate. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
I think um, and they turned out great people. You know, Jay says Morgana Le Fay, daughter of King Arthur, mother of. Okay, thank you, buddy. Thank you, Jay. Yeah, she's the daughter of King Arthur. Um, but all I know is that I feel something. Okay, Kevin says, like the moon goddess, Selene relates with the wolves. Okay, and I must have Selene too, because my animal totem is the wolf. His name is Lakota. He's big, he's bad, and he kicks ass. And that's all I can say about it.
Heck
But
yeah.
we'll go from there. Cindy says that she connected to Odin when I see the ravens at her house. You know,
Mm-hmm.
thank you, Kevin. And you know, whenever I see the ravens or whenever I see the crows, okay, I always feel, and mine's not Odin, Cindy. More is like Morgana. You know what I mean? Because lately I've been having a lot of ravens hanging around me, and I'm not going through a good time in my life right now, if you know what I mean. And there were a couple times that I was in my car at lunchtime, and the raven, the ravens, they would fly by my car. I mean, really, really close, and it was like they wanted to peck me, like, "Wake up, you son of a bitch! This is what's happening to you." But enough about me. Okay. Let me see. Ryan, it is 9 o'clock. Okay. And we're going to go on another break. Okay.
All right.
And when we come back, I would like to talk to you about the group, the paranormal group you belong to, and if you could talk about some of the investigations that you have done. Okay?
Sure, sure, no problem.
Okay, great. So, everybody, we're going to go on break, and I'll see you back in a couple of minutes. Who can we play now? Oh, we'll go here.
Hi, and welcome everyone to Ethereal Encounters Unveiled. Today we are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 on the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in beautiful New Orleans.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to the Into the Night with me, your host, Sean Kelly. Tonight I'm with my friend, Ryan. How do you pronounce your last name, Ryan?
It's pronounced Schidemantle.
Okay, Schidemantle. Okay, great. Thank you for, because I didn't want to ruin your name all night. Okay, that's who I am. But anything that you would like to share before we move on to our next topic of paranormal investigating? Is there anything you would like to share with the people about anything that we talked about?
Um, I think I caught a little bit earlier about you guys were talking about just prayer in general.
Hmm.
Yeah. I find that prayer is absolutely vital to anyone, whether you have a practice or not. Any kind of prayer, uh, will help you. Just if you pick something and do it every day, it'll help you get right, it'll help you get focused, especially in a world right now where we have so many distractions, everything going on with the way social media is, and they all look here right now, look over here, find something that will help you, even if it's just 5 minutes a day. Just ground yourself, say a prayer to whatever you might feel, even if it's a prayer to yourself, even if it's a prayer to the earth, to the universe. It doesn't have to be to anything or anyone specific. Just find time every day.
Yeah, Joe, I'm on till 10 o'clock tonight. I forgot to. Tonight's a 2 hour show. Sunday nights are 2 hour shows. Thank you for sharing that there, Ryan. So we're going to come to the juicy stuff right now. Okay. So you are a paranormal investigator. Could you talk? Natasha says preach. um, talk about the name of your group. What do you do? How do you investigate? The whole 9 yards. What do you, I mean, go from there.
Sure. So I joined up with the group, the Celestial Oddities Paraseekers. who is led by Frater Crow and Natasha Michelle, along with guests. You've had Tara. About 2 years ago, I went on just as a friend. Uh, I used to always make the joke, oh, hey, it's Celestial Oddities and friends, because I'd be there. They invited me to go along to a couple trips with them. And after a while, it just became more of a permanent thing. So kind of fell into it with them, really. Uh, but it's been a lot of fun. I had never done any paranormal investigating before I hooked up with the group. And I remember telling them when we went on our first trip, funny enough, the first place I ever went with them was also the last place that I've gone with them now, which would be St. Albans Sanatorium in, believe it's Virginia, West Virginia or Virginia. I think it's Virginia. Uh, Correct me if I'm wrong there. But yeah, and I remember going in with the mindset of great. I've never seen a ghost before. I have no idea what to expect. I didn't watch a whole lot of like ghost hunting shows or anything like that. They all seem kind of hokey to me. I was like, cool, I'm gonna go hang out in this chilly, dank, rundown place, sit for hours in the dark. Might hear like a bump on the wall or a creak in the wall or something like that. And I'll try and keep awake all night. Uh, and boy, was I dead wrong. Yeah, stuff was happening left and right at this first place. Number one, the place was huge. Uh, it had something crazy like 20 some odd staircases, multiple floors. The way the place uh, was built, years and years and years ago, and it went through many iterations. It was a sanatorium, and I believe at one point it was like a boys' school or a boys' house or something like that. It went through different iterations to what it was, and they just kept building onto it instead of like tearing something down and building something new. They would just add on, and they would like wall off something and build a new part and everything like that. So the stairways made no sense. Like you would go
Hmm.
up one stairwell, make a left, go down another stairwell, and be in a completely different area. Like the the place was really turned around. Uh, but it was really cool. But yeah, so much activity, so not at all what I expected. They had used we had been using cat balls at the time, little glove cat balls. Those things were going off left and right. They had a little mag light that they would turn on and say, hey, turn the mag light on if you could, and the thing would go on and off multiple times. Feeling chills in the air, you'd feel like legitimate, just cold air. Now, granted, this was, I believe it was in February, so it was cold to begin with, no heat in the place. But there were times when you could just feel like the icy wind of death come in right beside you to the point where, half of your body would feel one temperature and the other half would feel another. And they had these uh, readers that would scan radio signals, and the spirits are able to use that to piece together words or phrases and stuff like that. And a lot of times it'd be just little blips and here and there. But every once in a while, you start asking questions, and it would start giving you full on sentences, almost incomplete answers. And yeah, it was just absolutely mind blowing the things I saw the first time, and I after the first night, I was hooked. So, and I've been coming back for more
And
ever
all it does
since.
is take one time, my friend. Natasha says it's in Virginia, and Sarah Clark says Celestial Oddities is amazing. They know how to talk to spirits and treat them with respect. And Sarah, that's been my motto since day one, since 2006. Okay. I will to me, I've been on thousands of investigations. And I found out if you treat the spirits with respect, in return, they will respect you. and you get better evidence. You get more evidence than for me coming into a house and calling it every name in the book, try to get a reaction off you. You know, if I was that ghost, I'd say, you know, what the hell with you, dude? I'm just going to sit here and watch you make a fool out of yourself. You know what I mean? It's that simple. But I don't know. The marks on Natasha said the marks on her neck. Um, yeah. So have you gotten pushed or punched or kicked or scratched yourself, Ryan?
No, I nothing like that's ever really happened to me. I mean, maybe a touch here or there, more, just like a feeling, that something's close. I can't say I've ever been like pushed or touched or scratched or anything like that. Um, I tend to get something that I don't find a lot of people get. I pick up on smells a lot of the times. I will smell like a perfume, or I will smell like cigar smoke, or something like that. Just odd smells, as far as that goes. So that's always been interesting to me.
Hmm. And how many investigations have you actually been on besides your first one?
I want to say probably 8 to 10, like that by now.
Do you use any equipment, or what do you use when you go on an investigation?
I personally don't have a lot of equipment yet myself. I have a few cat balls. I have one of those like EK readers um,
Okay.
that read. Yeah, I have one of those that I bring around with me. Um, but yeah, I just kind of use whatever the group brings around.
Okay. My friend Kevin says that is interesting, Ryan. Scents are telling, and that's true. You know, people think, well, you go out ghost hunting, all you got just all this equipment, and you're there setting it up, and you're relying on the equipment, but they don't. You know, people don't realize you got other senses that you use. Okay, the sense of smell, the sense of touch, the sense of your eyes. You know what I mean? And what's
Hmm.
crazy in my experience is that the majority of the evidence that I get and what people get when they're investigating with me, okay, is basically personal. Their personal experiences. We're not caught that are not caught on tape or video or audio. You know what I mean? And to me, um, getting a personal experience from a spirit during an investigation is like the best type of evidence that I can get. And what I mean by that, Ryan, is that it's mine. You know what I mean? I don't have to share to the world that I got touched by a ghost. You know what I mean? Or I got scratched or had marks on my neck, you know, or whatever. Um, but that's to me the best evidence, you know, for me is getting personal experiences with different things happening on an investigation. So, do you plan on doing any investigating this year? Are you guys going anywhere?
Um, we are planning on going to the Trans Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. I believe if the date's correct, we're going on Black Friday.
Okay,
So I'm
that's in November.
yeah, very, very excited to go to this place. I've heard stories about it. Uh, Celestial Oddities is going there. I know Freighter Crow has been there several times, and I believe it's in his top three, if not his top absolute favorite. So I've heard nothing but good things. I've heard the place is absolutely immense.
It
Uh,
is.
yeah, yeah. Have you ever been there?
Yes, I have.
Oh yeah,
Yep. I'm
yeah.
not giving away the
Very.
secrets. I
Yeah,
ain't
yeah, no,
giving
that's
them.
good. Yeah, good. I'm really looking forward to going in fresh.
which is pretty good. You always got to go in fresh. Now, for me, I I have a problem with the TV shows that you see on TV about the ghost shows. Okay, I
Hmm.
am an advocate at telling everybody they're so full of shit. It's unbelievable. Okay, um, but oh, cool. Natasha says it was definitely personal. Huh? And yes, we enjoyed just being present. And Kevin said, agree, Sean, it's all you need sometimes. And it's true. It's definitely what you need. But I, for me, I started the group in 2006 and I just wanted to do on a Saturday night, just go to a cemetery, because I find it interesting. And I remember of October 2006 that we did a house and it went nonstop for about 20 years or 17 years, nonstop. And what was different about my group than any other group out there, yeah, we were, we definitely would, we were a paranormal group. I do so everybody on the outside could see that we were. But our main deal for the group was going to houses and working with clients, and talking
Hmm.
about why the spirits are in their house, why are they doing this, why are they doing that, and stuff like that. So being a paranormal group was a front compared to what we actually did, you know. But so how many people are in your group?
Um, trying to think right now, because over time, people come and go. Let's see. There's myself, Frater Crow, Natasha, Tara. There's our friend EJ, and then Crow's two friends, Ken and Sue, who I believe are part of the also part of the Bump in the Night Society.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that would be us
Now,
right
do you
now.
guys like after an investigation, you guys go home? Seven, Natasha says. She said seven.
Seven.
Yeah. But my question to you is after the investigation and you make it home, do you guys have a little get together and look at all the evidence that you have acquired?
Yeah, usually, I know people take the evidence they have home and they'll go through the stuff themselves, and then if if there's anything of note, we usually gather online and discuss it there.
Okay. And you just like keep them in a certain folder, you know,
Um,
or what do you
yeah,
do with your evidence?
The evidence, I mean, we just kind of keep it. We'll post a couple things online. Like I say, as far as evidence go, like you were saying earlier, we don't really record a whole lot. We're not there for that. We're there to experience and be in the moment. And it seems as time goes on, we're actually doing that. More and more. It's less about needing to prove or find or have evidence, and just be there and experience it while it's happening.
Hmm.
That being said, I do have one quick interesting story. We were at a place called the Doss House, and we do have recorded. There's a set of stairs. It's a very very small house. I think it's out towards is it Indiana, Pennsylvania? Um, anyway, it's a place called the Doss House. Very, very small house connected to a barber shop, and it's two stories with a basement. And there's a set of stairs that go upstairs. And apparently, on the set of stairs, there was a doctor. His name was Dr. Doss, and he had a little girl, and she was mentally disabled, mentally handicapped somehow, and she ended up getting angry at him and pushing him down the stairs, and he fell down the stairs. I think he left the stairs at the third or fourth step from the bottom, and flew and crashed into the wall, caused himself a lot of pain. Didn't kill him, but he was really bad off. The point of that is because at one point in the night, we were doing a little bit of recording, and we do have a recording of a ball sitting at the top of the stairs, and you're watching it, and it tilts a little bit to one side and then moves to the other side and starts bouncing down the stairs on itself and stops on, I believe it's the third or fourth stair from the bottom, wherever the doctor would have like, left the stairs to like crash and
Uh-oh.
naturally.
Okay. You there, Ryan? You there? Uh-oh. Here we go. Okay. So there was another malfunction. He'll be back on again. But that's pretty cool. What Sarah Clark does, the Doss House is in Loretto, PA. Oh, okay. But I don't know, cat balls. I love cat balls. They're the greatest things to go. Oh, there he is again. All right, my friend. We'll get you on. We'll add you to the stage. There you go. There
All
you
right.
go.
Sorry about that. Lost you there.
Don't worry about it, man. It's all good. It's all good. Um, Cindy says Ryan is very interesting. Yeah, he is. He's good.
Thanks, Cindy.
Yeah, Cindy's cool. Cindy's good people, man. She's been with me since I started, and that's been what, over 6 years ago. Um, but so, can you share any type of stories that happened to you um, while on an investigation? Personal stories that you'd like to share, because a lot of people like to hear stories that happen, what happens to them.
So there's one story that I know has been told around by a couple of people, but I haven't really got to tell it yet. It might have been told on your show before, by Natasha or Frater Crow, but I'll go ahead and tell it. We were at one place, and there was a demon. We're assuming it was a demon that was referring to itself as the meat.
Okay.
Yeah, we had been sitting in a room. I believe it was it wasn't the Ouija room. It was a doll room, I believe. There was a lot of dolls in this room, so it was creepy to begin with. And we're all sitting around. We got the reader on, and we're calling out. We're saying, "Hey, is there anybody here? Want to give us a name, anything like that?" And it just comes through meat, and we're like, "Meat, okay, your name is Meat," and it came through the meat.
Oh my
We're like,
God,
okay,
cool.
well, it's excuse us, the meat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, nice to meet you and everything. Who are you? Anything. And it goes, I like to smash the hearts of little children before I eat them.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, yeah, like a
Oh,
whole sentence, not a
oh,
couple of words, just a whole on sentence.
oh man. What did you do with the
Uh,
meats? What did you do? We're going to lose Ryan again pretty soon. Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, there he goes. Ryan will be back on again. That's okay. Meats. The meats. Oh, wow. That must have been crazy about hearing that thing. That's wild. But I don't know. I'll share evidence with you the one time a while back when I was with my girlfriend. We went and did a house out in Monroeville. But what I would like to do was go to the clients like a couple of days before, um, and we sit down and we talk and we do a little mini investigate, not like a walkthrough is what we do. But so Doreen, she's actually doing EVPs, okay, and so after the thing was over, uh, oh, we can hear the rest of the story. The meat doesn't want to be spoken about. Ha ha. Okay, I'll tell my story later on. Okay, Natasha says the meat doesn't want to be spoken about.
yeah, he wasn't a friendly guy.
No, but man, and man, I tell you what, if I heard that, man, I'd be in a meditation right away and going to kick some ass.
Yeah, yeah, it was pretty creepy. But trying to respect the entities that are there, and went about our
I don't
business.
call that respect. I call that entity a pain in the ass, man.
For
You
sure.
know what I mean? You know what I mean? I mean, you just don't do that. You just don't say that. I don't care. Wow. I'm
Yeah. Well,
sorry.
you never know what you're gonna
That
hear.
oh, true, 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 true. Um, but wow, I'm like dumbfounded. I'm like, wow, flabbergasted. But let's see, we're getting close to the bottom of the half hour. But okay, any other quick story you'd like to share about before we get into the final part of the show?
Um, as far as quick stories, we did go to a place called the Methodist Village. This was out in, I believe, it was Illinois. It was a cool little pieced together haunted town, I guess you would say. It was a little area where they had brought in a bunch of like old, very old buildings. Like there was an old church, there was an old schoolhouse, there was an old coffee shop, and these folks had like recreated this little village, and you could rent the place out for the night and just stroll around this village. And I know we spent different parts of the night in different areas, and I know one part in the schoolhouse. We were getting a full-on life story from a guy telling us about how he was a teacher and how he had fallen in love, and if I do believe correctly, the love wasn't reciprocated, I believe, and he ended up becoming an alcoholic and moving away. And before he died, I believe he found God. And yeah, so that was a quick little story. Yeah, it was a long story. Like the guy just kept talking. He was answering every question. Like it's pretty
That's
impressive.
great.
That one really stands out.
That's cool because
Yeah.
I like when that happens. But
Hmm.
before we go to our last break here, buddy. All right, do you do? I want to say I hate saying the word ritual, but is there something that you do before you? Natasha said it was the whole soap opera. But
Yeah,
is
it
there
was.
something that you do to protect yourself before you go in on the investigation?
Yeah, as a practitioner, you always want to ground, you always want to cleanse before and after. Just usually, as far as I'm concerned, just maybe a little incense smoke, maybe a few minutes of just calm and getting right and going in with a clear head.
Hmm. And it helps you out.
I 100% believe it does.
Cool. And I wouldn't doubt it. And I'm being serious when I tell you this. I wouldn't doubt it. Odin and Freya are there with you too. I can guarantee it.
I like to think so.
Oh, I know so. I have no doubt in my mind so. Or else they'll send some of their underlings to protect you. You know what I mean? I mean, honestly, dude, I can see energy off of people, and I can see your energy, and it's wonderful, dude. You have awesome energy, you know.
Well, I appreciate that.
And no, yeah. I mean, with you hanging out with Natasha and Frater, my God, you know what I mean? Just and Tara too, and just the people to grab all that energy and just absorb it. You know what I mean? And I don't know. It, like I said at the very beginning, and Sarah says yes, you do too. Um, and just at the beginning, I could just tell, that hey, I like this guy, because he has good energy, and you do. And I have no doubt in my mind, and I'll take it to the bank. That with you having that respect, and with your Norse mythology, and with Odin and all them, and Freya and all the other ones, that really connects into you, and I can just see it in you. Even if you didn't have that big old beard on you, I still would see, I would still see it with you. And I don't know, man. I just feel very comfortable around you. And I feel comfortable when I'm with Tara and Natasha and Frater. You know what I mean?
All
But
great people.
oh, they are. They're the best. And I'm not asking for that $50, Natasha, that you promised said I would have to say, pay you in order to say that for you. I'm silly. But listen, we are going to do one more break, okay? And when we come back, I would like to know about the left hand path.
Sure.
Is that what it's called?
Yes, the left hand path.
Natasha says Ryan has a stabilizing presence. Yeah, he does. But we're going to be back in a couple minutes, and we're going to. I would really like to learn. Oh, you mailed it. Okay. All righty. Going to come back in a couple minutes, and he's going to talk about the left hand path, right? The left hand path.
Yes.
Okay, great. So we'll see you back in a couple minutes.
All right.
Who can I play now? We'll play her again.
The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. Let's stop this conversation. We got no relation. I have come for losing my control.
Hi, and welcome everyone to Ethereal Encounters Unveiled. Today we are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 on the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in beautiful New Orleans.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Into the Night with me, your host, Sean Kelly. I want to thank UPRN Talk Radio, 105.3 Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans. And Ryan must have got kicked off again, but he'll be back shortly. So if you're not doing anything during the week and you want to, here we go. And you want to, if you don't want to watch the news or watch the reruns on all the TV shows that you do, pop on to UPRN Talk Radio. 7 days a week we have shows. Thank you, Kevin. We have 7 days a week we have shows with different hosts who are beautiful hosts that have awesome subjects that they talk about, and they have great guests. So, I mean, there's a show every night of the week here on UPRN Talk Radio. You can also catch me on Friday nights, News on the Flip Side. Starts at 10 p.m. Eastern. And you can catch me on Saturday nights on The Chat, and that's at 7. Now, the show The Chat is actually the number one show on this platform. So it's all good. We're good. We have a lot of fun, especially when we have our food porn segments. And we do have food porn. So all we do is talk about food, and recipes and stuff like that. But back to Ryan. We're in the last half hour, and I really, really would like to know, and so would my people in the chat in the 160 different countries that we are broadcasting on tonight about the left-hand path?
All right. To me personally, there's the right hand path and the left hand path, and the way I view it personally is, you have the right hand path, which is, is essentially giving up your power, giving it to God, and entrusting everything in God to do that. To just take everything for you and do it for you. Whereas the left hand path is really all about owning your own power, taking responsibility for your life, and you know, doing things your way, the way that is best for you, and really just mastering yourself.
Okay, and is there like certain studies that you start with the left-hand path?
How I found the left hand path, I found through the shop, the little shop of Lilith. Uh, she turned me on to a few books on the goetic demons, the 72
Hey,
goetic
Donna,
demons.
go ahead.
And yeah, she uh, turned me on to them, and started me down the path of working with them, and how to go about getting in contact with them, and working with them, learning from them, uh, integrating what they have to say into your life, and just knowledge, man. Like it's all just about knowledge.
Is there a lot of meditation that goes into this?
Absolutely, absolutely. Meditation is foundational. Meditation is like step one, man.
Okay. And when you first started meditating, um, did you have trust issues?
Um, Trust issues, like as far as what?
Okay, like, like, are you sure this is my guide? Is it you sure? You know what I mean? Like, this couldn't be somebody stepping in that's pretending to be my guide through this meditation. And
Okay,
um, do you see where I'm getting at with that?
I do see where you're
Did
getting
you
at.
feel
Yeah.
comfortable?
Oh, absolutely not. I had no idea what to expect. Um, especially it comes with time. You learn, what is you and what isn't you. But you know, over time, you start to learn. You start to vet things out. You might be uh, you might want to start asking questions, as opposed to just, listening and hearing for, anything that shows up. After a while, you might want to try and have like a back and forth, ask some questions and stuff like that. And that might start sussing things out. If you are trying to connect with a certain entity, and something shows up and goes, "It is me, I am here," and you go, "Oh, okay, great, well, what about such and such," and it gives a complete off the wall answer, or might just absolutely vanish. Probably a good
Hmm.
chance that that wasn't it. So that's one good way to do that.
Okay. Because I know for me, when I first learned how to meditate, I really had a problem, trusting. I
Hmm.
have trust issues that are really, you can even ask Tara that one. I got trust issues. And, but eventually, like you said, I got to know Black Elk, you know, my guy. And,
Hmm.
um, and by just knowing when he's around, there was a certain pipes tobacco smell that he would smoke all the time. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And I knew it was Lakota, but it got to the point where I didn't even need to smell the smoke anymore. I just knew it was him. And what was really, really cool about it, though, even when I was not into meditation, I could just feel, I always feel that it was black elk. You know, Donna says, my friend Donna, she says, always be careful of the trickster. Sometimes things aren't what you think they are. That is true, Donna. That is very, very
Absolutely.
true.
A hundred
Absolutely.
percent agree.
And you know what, Donna? That trickster comes from the animal, the coyote. The coyote is considered a trickster, and that's why I got my wolf, uh, Lakota, and I've had him since I even started. You know, and that's been a long time ago. And I remember one time I was in a meditation in Lakota. Whenever I go into my meditation, Lakotas are with me all the time, and this is a true story. True story. And so I'm in meditation, right? Lakota's with me, and all of a sudden, a spirit decided to step into my space. Okay. All I know is that Lakota came back with skin in his teeth, if you know what I mean. You know what I
Right.
mean? He ripped that spirit apart. I mean, it was something. So
Sounds
yes,
like a
at
good
first,
companion.
oh, he is. He is. He really is. He's big, he's bad, and he kicks ass. That's all I could say. And there's a lot of people that I know that borrow Lakota. You know what I mean? And I allow that. You know what I mean? I allow that, and they can easily tell when Lakota's around them. You know, if they need help, I just say his name, and he'll be there, and he usually
Have you
does. But
if you don't mind, I'll ask you a question. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this concept. You talk about this Lakota and everything like that. In Norse mythology, have you ever heard of a thing? And I'm going to butcher this word. I believe it's called a philia. Philia.
no,
So Ophelia is part of it's a part of your soul, it's a part of your spirit, but it typically manifests as some form of animal. And it's separate in and of itself, but it is also a part of you. And like I said, it manifests as usually as some form of animal. But yeah, they are very protective of you, and there are stories of people loaning them out to other people, and just the way you're talking about it, that just it's hitting every note for me. So you
okay.
know I would look into that.
What's it called again?
It's called a philia. I can send you a little information on that
Yeah, I
after the show.
appreciate that, buddy. Donna Schultz, Donna says yes. You have always been helpful to send them to protect her. Okay, we'll get to Natasha's after this one. Cindy would like to know: do you work with dragon energy?
I do not currently work with dragon energy. My lineup is pretty full right now, but that is on the docket in the future.
Okay, that's cool. My brother works with dragon energy. My
Yeah.
brother does. He's into D&D, but he believes in dragons. Natasha says, Ryan, I have a question. This is Natasha.
Hmm.
She has a question for you. How do you feel Hecate has helped guide you due to your relationship, especially when you began the demonic work?
Okay. You did cut
Good
out a
question,
little bit
Natasha.
there, but I think I caught most of it. Hecate uh, was the first non-Norse goddess,
No,
entity, spirit.
how did
Oh,
how
good.
did how did Hecate help you, help guide you?
Yeah. So yeah, when I first hooked up with her, Hecate is all about. She's a teacher of magic. She hands out. She gives you keys. She is a torch in the darkness. Working with her, uh, kind of helped me start getting the basics of how to work with other things. Um, through her books, meditating with her, doing rituals with her at the shop and everything like that. I believe that she helped guide me down along the path that I am on now. She was foundational in the
Hmm.
things that I do now.
Okay,
I still say prayer to her.
that's good. I know a lot of women, a lot of people who do, work with her, you know, and the people that work with her that I do know, they're beautiful souls. They're beautiful people, and that's the truth.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Uh, Natasha said, yes, perfect gatekeeper. Yes.
Yes. She will
But
show you the door and give you the opportunity to walk.
now, could she stop you from going going through the door if you're not ready? I think we're going to lose it. Yeah, we lost him again. Maybe you can answer this, Natasha. Could she stop you at the door if she knows that you're not ready yet? Okay. See is the path and the light along it. Okay, thank you, Sarah. Uh, oh, there he is again. Welcome back.
Got you there. Thanks.
Hey, you got some entities there that don't want you to talk about certain things.
Wouldn't be
That's a joke.
surprised.
That's a joke. No, it happens to me all the time. I remember when I first started this with Jenny Nicasio on Chasing Prophecy. I remember, you know, we she got into conspiracies, okay, and
Mhm.
Big Brother would listen in all the time, and they would literally throw EMPs at our show. No, no crap. The show would go, but there'd be so much static and stuff like that. But I really believe that. I really believe that if you're not, Natasha says, in my experience, no, she won't stop me. She will offer crossroad doors. Okay, that's cool. The question I was going to ask you until you got bumped off
Mhm.
was, would Hecate um, stop you at the door um, if she thought you weren't ready for it? And since you got bumped off, I asked Natasha, and she gracefully answered, and she says, in her experience, no, she won't stop me. She will offer crossroads doors.
Oh,
You kind of,
absolutely. Yeah, she is, goddess of the crossroads. Like I was saying earlier, she will show you doors. It is up to you to walk through it. She will hand you keys to anything. You just have to, be willing to do it. Now, is that offer always going to be there? No. Sometimes you got to do it or you miss it and it's gone.
mm-hmm,
So they're these spirits, these entities, these gods and goddesses, whatever you want to call them. They're not there to hold your hand and do the work for you. They're there to show you the way, and they're there to kick you in the rear to get you going.
I was
You
just going to
know.
ask you, did you ever get slapped upside the head? I did a couple of times
Oh,
if I
oh
made the
yeah.
wrong move.
Yeah, yeah. I remember in my early days, in my hubris, thinking, hey, everything's going right. Everything I do, just boom, 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 win, win, success. Until one time, I did a
Here we go again. Wow, this is
go through
crazy.
with it.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're there.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back, but no video.
Okay.
That's okay. Go
On no
ahead.
video. Let's see. Yeah. Let me see. So if
Here we go again. Oh wow, Cindy. Yeah, hopefully we can. He would come back for another show. I would enjoy that. That would be awesome. So I guess there are people out there in the universe that kind of like don't want him to be saying stuff, but I believe that happens. Absolutely. Don't forget, guys, that getting close toward the show, I am going to pull a card for everybody. And it depends if we have some time left. Maybe I'll do a little reading, but I can guarantee it. I'm going to pull a card for everybody, and we'll see where the card takes us. Um, there he is. Oh boy, hi, buddy.
hey,
Welcome back.
Thanks.
Okay. What were you going to say? Do you remember what you're going to say?
Um, I'll tell a different story. Maybe that one wasn't working out. I will say that these entities, they will put you on the path that you need to be on if you're willing to work with them. And some of them will change your life in ways that you cannot expect.
Yeah.
I will say, after one group working that I did, and being told during this working that your life will change. Did this working, and I had done it on a weekend when I was off of work. My first day back to work, within the first 4 hours I was there, I was let go. And I had been contemplating on leaving this job for close to a year, and just kept putting it off and putting it off. And it'd be super inconvenient, and I'd have to look for another job. And but I was just hating life. I did this working with a group of friends of mine. And yeah, and I said, hey, I'm putting everything in your hands. Put me on the path I need to be on, and I'll walk it. And like I said, I went in my first day back to work. Boom, canned. Within a week, I had another job. I had a better job, better pay, better hours, and I'm so much happier.
There you,
So
there you go.
they they will shake your life up.
Oh, yes, they will. Yes, yes, they will. Now, my friend Eugenia, he says, made it in time for animal card. Yes. Every show that I do, I work with the animal medicine cards,
Okay.
and I pull an animal out. My buddy Joe Fox, that's in the room, hopefully still, he'll look up the spiritual meaning. But when I look at the card, I give my own, I don't believe in definitions. It's the feeling of the card that I get, you know, that I express. Now it might not come out, right, but sometimes I just keep talking until I get what I want to say out there. But I do that. I do that every show that I do, and a lot of people look forward to it, and I look forward to doing it with people, you know.
Sure.
But oh wow, this was a very very interesting show. My friend Cindy Mitch, she said, hopefully Ryan could come back for another show. Would you like to do that?
I'm sure we can make that happen.
Okay, so there you go, Cindy. Yes, he can make that happen. Um, so what else is there to cover? Um, is there anything you'd like to say that we haven't mentioned tonight?
Um, I mean, I think we've covered a lot of really good topics there. Uh, if you're not into
There he goes. There it is. Yep. There it
there we are.
goes.
Yep, it's cutting out again.
Yeah. So you better be quiet, I guess, because it's going to. Oh, there you go. This is crazy, dude. This is crazy. I'm going to start shuffling the cards, you know. And Joe, are you in the house? You still here, buddy? Yeah. But you should be back on again. So, does anybody have any questions, or is there anything anybody wants to share? Um, Feel free to. Ah, that's cool. Joe's still here. That's good. All right, Joe's going to hook this up. Hopefully, he comes back real quick. You know, I don't know. I hope he is. This is insane. This is insane. Oh wow. So, how's everybody's day going on so far? They had a um, nice group tonight. He was a very good guest. I really enjoyed him, and I definitely would like to have him back on again. You know, hopefully he'll come back on soon. I don't know. but I am shuffling the cards. And Cindy says that she looks forward to the cards. Yes, we'll give them a couple more minutes. So Tuesday night show, I don't know what I'm going to have. Maybe a recap from tonight's show, or just have an open discussion and talk about everything and anything. See where it takes us. I really am enjoying this 2-hour show on Sunday, and I hopefully that it progresses. Here he is again.
Hey, brother, got it going. Okay.
All right, no problem. Kara says, sorry, I'm so quiet. Rest assured, I am listening. I believe you, Kara. It's okay. As long as you're, Kara, honestly, as long as you're safe, my friend, that's all that matters. Okay? As long as you're safe, that's all that matters. But you know what? Before we get booted off here again, Ryan, that was a joke, but who knows? But how can people get a hold of you? How can they get in touch? How would they want to learn about the oddities? And Ryan, Joe Fox says, Ryan, I hope you come on again.
Thanks.
So how can people get a hold of you with oddities, your paranormal or your other things that you practice?
Celestial Oddities. I'll go ahead and give that one out. We're on Facebook. Just look up Celestial Oddities Paraseekers on Facebook. You can see a bunch of stuff that we do there. We post from time to time some of the things we do there. Also, you can check out, look for us at the Coterie of Samil, also on Facebook. We're on Instagram as well. So, yeah, either one of those avenues.
Okay, everybody. So we are going to pull the card. Okay, so I'm shuffling. Joe's there. He's ready. Okay, yep, it's about time. So I'm shuffling the cards, everybody, and I am cutting them once, cutting them twice, and cutting them 3 times. All right, everybody. Joe, get ready. And the card, oh my gosh, Donna, I hope you're in the room. The trickster, the coyote. Is that crazy or what? Oh my gosh, the coyote is considered the trickster. And to me, until Joe looks it up, okay, to me, the coyote, they cry a lot, okay, and they're sneaky. And if you pulled that card and you cry a lot and you're sneaky and you go to take things that you're not supposed to take, maybe drawing that coyote card is kind of like saying, you know what, dudes, you better watch what you're doing. And I'm just going to pull one more card to see what comes after that coyote. Kara says, what was that village he was talking about earlier? What was the village you were talking about?
Oh, it wasn't even the Methodist village. It was a reconstructed village. I believe it was in Illinois. I don't remember the name of the town. Man, I should have brought some notes on it. But it was a really cool place. Like I said, they had a bunch of like just really old buildings there, like smaller old building. Made some of them were made back in the 1800s, and they just
Natasha says Billy Creek.
Billy Creek. That was the name of it. Yeah, Billy Creek.
Thank you, Natasha.
Yeah, thank you, Natasha. I'm absolutely awful with names.
No,
remembering the places.
So
yeah,
me too.
Yeah, just like, hey, that was a cool place. Hey, this is a cool place. What was it called? Couldn't tell you. But yeah, it had it had an old church. It actually had 2 churches. It had a Christian church, and I believe it had a Baptist church as well. Yeah, it had a barn where I believe they still did. They would do weddings there. Yeah, they had a gift shop. They had an old house. They had just all kinds of really cool old buildings there, and you would have the entire night to just go through and spend there. It was a really, really neat place. I would love to go back there again sometime.
Yeah, that sounds like pretty interesting. So Joe brought up the coyote. The coyote spirit animal symbolizes adaptability, humor, and transformation, often teaching lessons through its trickster nature. It encourages to embrace change and joy and find joy in life's unpredictability. And now that's the animal that symbolizes it. That's what it does. But for me, I think that when with the coyote card being pulled, I think that being the trickster, that you go and get things that you're not supposed to get, and you do it mischievously. So what I'm going to do is pull the second card of that and see what comes up. And what the second card is the butterfly. Okay, and the butterfly is transformation. Okay, and so if you stop being that trickster, then you know what, stop being the trickster, and then you turn into a butterfly. That turned out great. We'll wait until Ryan gets back on again. But it was a good show. Natasha, thank you very much for, you know, um, pointing Ryan toward me in doing the show. He was good. Okay. He was a great person. Thank you, Natasha. Truly appreciate it. There he is again. We're about to go away. No, not go away, but the show's about to end. Thank you again, Ryan. Okay.
Absolutely.
Um, for being on. Hopefully, we can get you back on again later on in the year. Natasha, Tara, everybody with the Oddities Paranormal Group, thank you for being in here tonight and giving Ryan some awesome support. Children, if you can, please go to your parents and give them a hug and tell them that you love them. And parents, please go to your children, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And if you have no parents and if you have no children, find somebody, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. Because those 3 words, I love you, go a long way. And on that note, remember, please protect the children. And have a good night. And I will definitely see everybody on Tuesday night. And Ryan, thank you again. Good
Pleasure
night,
was all mine.
everybody. Good night, everybody.